Guys, I think this might be the last video that you'll see filmed in this room. Y'all have some amazing choice. Now this is not the genre that I usually go for. I think there was a name. The vibes of this book. I literally googled how to pronounce this name. So I read some books that y'all recommended me, and I've got to say, you've got some amazing choices, and I'm so grateful that you recommended me these amazing books. Now I'm going to talk about everything, what all I read and mujhe kya kaisa laga, and share my reviews. Although I don't think I am qualified to give a review, but theek hai, my kind of reviews to you about these books. So let's start. Now let's start with the first book. This is my latest read. I completed it last night only, and this is just fresh on my mind. So let's talk about this. The book is The Namesake from Jhumpa Lahiri. So this is a story of an immigrant couple, Ashok and Ashima, and how they, especially Ashima, had to uproot her entire life and move to the US in the 1960s after marrying Ashok. They had this arranged marriage thing, and she had to go to US after that. So this book is basically how they adjust to the cultural shocks, how they adjust to the life in the US and their entire life. Now when I was reading this book, I think within the first few pages, or I would say 10% book bhi complete nahi hua tha, and itni sari cheezein book mein ho gayi thi, and I was wondering ki puri book mein I think I had completed इतना सा book, and उसके बाद I was wondering कि पूरी book में होगा क्या. But when I finished it, I realized that the author takes you through 3 or 4 decades of their lives. So उनके kids होते हैं, how they struggle with being Indian in America and everything, and especially the protagonist who is Gogol. So there's this entire identity crisis that he has. There's so much soul searching. There are some unpredictable situations happening, and this book really makes you realize how unpredictable life is. When you finish it, you'll realize what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is an amazing book. I would highly recommend you to read it. Now the second book which was recommended by a bunch of you was 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. I think that was her name. And it is a spiritual book which basically revolves around love. Obviously it's there in the name, and it just shows how love and friendship can transform a person. The book basically explains how Shams of Tabriz transforms Rumi from a scholar into a Sufi or a poet, and it actually has a parallel storyline going on. So there is 1200s mein Shams or Rumi ki story chal rahi hai, and then present day mein there is story of a woman named Ella, I wanna say. Now this was not the kind of genre that I usually go for, so it was very new for me, but I really liked it. It's a really good novel, although starting I would say it was a little confusing to read because there were 2 parallel storylines going on, and there were so many characters introduced, and it was difficult also to keep account of everything. But eventually I got a hang of it, and it's a really good book. Now it is a very intense novel, and kahin pe beech mein I had to take a few breaks and then get back to it. So I think इस novel को पढ़ने में मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा time लगा है. But I would say that the 40 Rules of Shams of Tabriz, वो जो 40 Rules of Love है, they are written by Shams of Tabriz, and they are amazing. कोई rules तो बहुत amazing है. I would like to read one to you because I really like that. Now that says, a life without love is of no account. Don't ask yourself what kind of love you should seek, spiritual or material, divine or mundane, Eastern or Western. Divisions only lead to more divisions. Love has no labels, no definitions. It is what it is, pure and simple. Love is the water of life, and a lover is a soul of fire. The universe turns differently when fire loves water. Also, another thing that I really liked was Shams was a religious person. He loved God, but he was more of a spiritual person. So he believed in God in any entity, and he always says throughout the book that God is within you, universe is within you, and I really resonate with that line. I personally really believe in that. So yeah, it is a really good book. Now the third book, I think this is the only non-fiction book in this list. So this one is Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. Now I did knew about this book from earlier because मैंने काफी लोगों को इसको recommend करते हुए सुना है. Also don't judge a book by its cover, but how aesthetically pleasing is this cover. I just love the aesthetics as well of this book. I am not lying when I'm saying that this is one of my favorite books that I've read this year. Now I want to share how I read this book. Like there's this entire thing that I did. So this book basically is filled with so much positivity and good vibes now. I used to read a couple of chapters of this every morning. So right after waking up, after doing the entire morning routine, I would just grab this and just thoda sa shanti mein baith ke I would read 2 or 3 chapters, and oh my god, believe me, jitne din maine books mein padhi hai na, it just started my morning on the best note, and I would recommend you to try reading this the same way. Iska na best cheez hai ki it's a very easy read. I mean, the language and the statements and everything are so easy to read. So if you're a beginner at reading, get this book, especially if you want to get into non-fiction books. Get it. Love it. Now the next book that was recommended to me was Everything, comma Everything by Nicola Yoon. I had never heard about this book and मैं बहुत excited थी इसका नाम सुनने के बाद. Like everything कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था मुझे क्या होने वाला है, कैसा होने वाला है. The only thing that I remember from Everything is, do you remember Fault? If you have read Fault in Our Stars, तो उसमें वो okay वाला उनका thing ही होता है, like they used to say. मुझे उसकी जैसी थोड़ी सी ऐसा लग रहा था कि कुछ similar सा, but I did not knew about it. So it's basically a young adult fiction, a romantic fiction. Now I'd like to first start with the first like sentence. I think it was either on the cover of the book or कहीं पे starting में ही एक sentence आता है कि everything is a risk. Not doing anything is a risk as well. I really like this sentence. I don't know why. And this book is about a girl named Maddie, and she has a disease which I don't remember. It's basically an immune deficiency disease. Oh yeah, it's SCID. SCID. Something combined immune deficiency disease. Several? Nahin. I don't remember, but it's basically an immune disease where that girl is allergic to everything and anything. उसके like पूरे घर में air filters लगे होते हैं. She is not allowed to step out of her house. She is not allowed to open the windows. Like वो किसी भी चीज से allergic हो सकती है. Like they cannot even find out what all she is allergic to because her immunity is that weak. And उसके घर पे वो enter करने से पहले वो जो पूरा sanitizing room होता है, पूरा वो सब होता है, and she's not allowed to meet anyone. She lives with her mother who's a doctor and a nurse who just takes care of her throughout the day. And then one day a guy, like a teenage guy named Ollie, moves into the neighborhood in their बगल वाला घर, and both of them fall for each other even though they've never met क्योंकि वो उसको अंदर से देखती है and everything. And it is such a cute love story. Like this book will make you crave love. So grab this book because it is very sweet. It has a very strong emotion. There are multiple things going on, and on top of that there is a major twist in this novel which will just make you go like. And I think I've convinced you enough to like start reading it. So I really liked it. Like thank you so much whoever recommended this book to me. Because I don't know if I would have ever heard about it if it was not for you. But yes, I loved it. Also, it's a very short read na. So if you are a beginner at reading or if you just want like a short and sweet read, get it. काफी अच्छे. You'll finish it in maybe like a couple of days or in a few hours if you continuously read it. This one is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secret of the Universe by, Benjamin Elire Sain. I literally like googled how to pronounce this name. So it's basically a story of two boys, Aristotle and Dante, which is there in the novel. It's again another young adult fiction. So dono teenage boys hai. And this book is beautiful. Like the word that I can find to describe it is beautiful. Now first of all, whoever recommended this to me, again thank you so much, because when I read the name na, like I was going through my comments seeing ki kaun si book start karu, and when I saw this name I was very intrigued because how different is that name. If you ask me who is my favorite character in this book, I think this is one of the few books where I cannot name a favorite character because every character is so damn good. Like every character is so special in their own ways, and they like play important role in the book. And like ये बहुत ही wholesome book है, and if you want to read something that just instills that positive, wholesome, heartwarming vibes in you, get it. And now last but definitely not the least, the final book of this video, which is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Now I had heard about this book so much. It is a classic. आपने भी बहुत सुना होगा. And I wanted to start this, but मैं हमेशा भूल जाती थी. And then I saw it in the comments and was like, Dikshita, the universe is telling you to finally start it. So I started the book, and I would like to say that eventually I wasn't so much into it. मुझे थोड़ा सा like difficult थोड़ा सा to grasp it, but oh my god, the book, it's amazing. Like it's totally worth the hype, worth the appreciation that it gets. Now the plot and the story of the book is quite long. It's basically two kids who are the protagonists, and Alabama में they live, and yeah, I think बहुत time पहले का है, जिस time पे slavery and blacks against discrimination was at its peak. Now the gist of the book is that everyone deserves to live a better life, like especially since blacks वाला पूरा इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा discrimination और उसका mention किया है. The two kids I'm talking about who are the protagonists, उनके जो father होते हैं, who he is a white guy, but he is one of the few people at that time who used to speak about like black, like equality for the black people, and how he had to suffer so much because he was like defending a black convict who was convicted in like wrongful ways. Also the author has written everything in such a detailed way. The detailing is amazing. आपको ऐसा लगेगा literally you're right there when everything is happening, and it is a really good book. I would definitely recommend it. I think I would recommend every book from this video because, as I said before, y'all got some amazing choices. So comment down below more books that you want me to read, and I might make a part 2 of this if you want. And yes, that's it. With that, we come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, my battery is flashing, so I'll quickly take your leave. Now make sure that you like the video. Please hit on that like button right now. Subscribe karo. Hit on that subscribe button right now. Like I'm literally waiting for you. Like subscribe. And also press on the bell sign so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video, which is usually every Monday and Thursday at 11 AM. I don't know ये burst of energy कहाँ से आया है. And yes, that's it. काफी बकवास कर ली, so I'll just go. I'm literally feeling thirsty क्योंकि मैंने इतना बोल दिया है. But yes, bye guys. I love you.